No.
News time is 8 minutes after the 8 o'clock hour here on this Monday morning. Top of the morning from the newsroom of Regional Radio and DeWittDailyNews.com. I'm Seth Lawrence with this expanded 8 o'clock newscast. ILSportsWire, a branch of the Hart Media Group, saw tremendous growth, and this fall, more growth is expected. Matt Hart is the owner of the Hart Media Group and indicates there was huge demand for the product they started putting out during the high school football season last fall, and since then, ILSportsWire has only grown.
You know, when we sat here about a year ago, when we first did the transition and launched ILSportsWire when we launched it last August of 2025.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what ILSportsWire was.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew anything about ILSportsWire. In fact, for a long time, we had to tell people ILSportsWire is part of Hart Media Group. Oh, I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
it was part of the Hart Media Group. I didn't know it was part of WHOW and
Mm-hmm.
WEZC. And so I think people are, and now that we've been doing it for a year, a lot of people get the connection that it's all part of Hart Media Group. But ILSportsWire has just absolutely exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're not even 12 months into it. We're 11 months into ILSportsWire. We've got over 10,000 followers on Facebook already.
Mm-hmm.
We've got, I think last I checked, it was over 6,000 followers on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We've got ILSportsWire.com, and right now we're tweaking ILSportsWire.com because we have so much content that we've been putting on our website for the last year. We're ramping up to get ready for the upcoming, high school sports season.
Mm-hmm. A video of a Monticello girls basketball game from February has gone viral. Hart indicates, while that is great, it's the ability to bring the action to people wherever they are that has made the platform so valuable.
We've had the video go viral on Instagram. The other one, probably our biggest success story was, and if you've been on social media, you've probably seen it because actually been picked up by ESPN. We had just kind of a random play
Mm-hmm.
in a girls basketball game on a Saturday afternoon in Monticello, Illinois. And before ILSportsWire, no one would have ever seen this play.
Mm-hmm.
This bill, I think last I checked, it's over 20 million views, I think, nationwide.
Wow.
But we don't, and that's just on us. I don't know how many times it's been played on SportsCenter,
Mm-hmm.
and Barstool Sports and other national publications that have picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what's exciting about ILSportsWire. It's telling those local sports stories that were never told before, or that were only limited to the people who happen to be there at that minute.
Right.
Now we can share that, and we can share it again. We can talk about it months later. We talk about it years later.
Right.
I'll be honest with you, I'm really excited to see what happens when we're sitting here 5 years, 10 years from now, and we look back at the content that we started creating in 2025. And now we have a generation of people who've grown up on ILSportsWire. That's, again, it's our mission. Our mission is connecting people. And that's why we started ILSportsWire, was to connect people through the local sports. And by the way, it's not just the athletes. We cover the athletes. We cover the coaches. We'll cover the cheerleaders. We'll cover the band. Part of small towns. That's part of local communities. It's not just what happens goal line to goal line or end line to end line. It's everything goes on in addition to the sports themselves. The parents, to the boosters, to the band, to the cheerleaders, to the POMs. We'll cover it all.
Follow ILSportsWire on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and be sure to visit ILSportsWire.com. Navigating co-parenting after leaving an abusive relationship presents unique challenges, and a Central Illinois advocate says there is a lot to navigate for victims of those relationships. Andrea Coker, Director of Services at Willow Tree Missions in Piatt County, explains while joint co-parenting is a healthy goal in a standard breakup, applying that same expectation to domestic violence survivors often exposes them to continued abuse.
In most relationships, or oftentimes in relationships, there are children that belong to two partners. So there's a big push, or there's a big expectation that people, whenever they separate, are going to co-parent their children together. I think that's a really healthy expectation. Whenever that works well, it's fabulous for all parties. And in most situations, whenever relationships end when there are children involved, That is an excellent goal to work toward. However, we cannot have the same expectation of people who end or leave a domestic violence relationship. So sometimes we as society put a lot of pressure on victims of domestic violence by setting an expectation that they need to be able to co-parent. And then on the flip side of that, also then that expectation becomes that they need to continue to be abused by their partner long after the relationship ends, just because they have children together. And so part of my job, or part of what we do, is to plan for those circumstances and plan for those interactions. And I think the biggest piece is acknowledging that just because you are able to safely leave your relationship doesn't mean you're always able to safely stay away from your abuser if there are children involved. So acknowledging it's a really big piece.
According to Coker, Illinois law takes domestic violence in the presence of children very seriously, recognizing that kids absorb the hostility even if parents try to hide it.
We are really fortunate in the state of Illinois, or at least historically have been, that domestic violence in the presence of children is taken very seriously by agencies in our area. Sometimes maybe to the extreme, but I would rather them be extreme than not cover it at all. There's a widespread acceptance that children who live in a household where domestic violence is present has a profound effect on children. A lot of parents think they do a really good job of hiding it from their kids. Kids know. They don't have to be in the same room to know. They can hear through walls just like you can. Kids can read a room. They can pick up on energies that are happening from both parties. Just like we can walk into a room and feel tension, so can children. And if they are living in that state, they know that it's going on.
Because domestic abuse centers on power and control, former partners frequently use ongoing communication regarding children as a way to maintain that control long after the relationship has ended.
So as we've talked about so many times, domestic violence is rooted in power and control. It's all about power and control. It's all about control of their victim. So one way to maintain control is to continue controlling their now ex-partner through communications about their children, through forced communication in general because they have children together, drop-off times, pickup times. It can be little things like showing up 20 minutes late to a designated pickup area just to cause upheave, so that it's just trying to maintain some of that power and control, because abusive people like to maintain their power. They're willing to use anything to continue to maintain that power, even after the relationship ends. It's really important to them.
To safeguard survivors and children, Willow Tree Missions helps families establish detailed safety plans, including using specialized court-monitored communication apps to keep interactions strictly focused on the kids.
So we try to safety plan every scenario, every situation, every interaction, every piece of a survivor's life. So as far as safety planning with co-parenting, a really big tool that doesn't work across the board, but we've seen a lot of success with, is communication apps. There are literally phone apps that are like designed for this, where ultimately all communication is stored so that a third party can go through it if necessary, ultimately to hold both parties accountable. So that if it's agreed upon in a divorce or in a child custody agreement that we are only going to communicate about our children, that way we can maintain a healthy relationship for our kids to the best of our ability, using communication apps will help maintain that.
For more information on safety planning or support services via Willow Tree Missions in Piatt County, visit willowtreemissions.org or find the agency on Facebook. Social Security number and card-related issues are the most common reason people may visit a Social Security office. And depending on what you need to do, in some cases where you may be able to complete your transaction online, or you might have to visit an office. Jack Myers with Social Security is reminding if you need to visit an office, it's likely because Social Security needs to see documents. If that's the case, you need to know they cannot accept photocopies of documents needed for a Social Security card-related business item. If you must visit an office, it is recommended making an appointment. Myers notes you can find out on the Social Security card number and card page, ssa.gov/number-card. Once there, the website will ask a few questions to determine what you're trying to accomplish. And according to Myers, if you just need a replacement card for yourself, you are age 18 or older and do not need to change any information, they can typically process those requests online without a visit to an office, as long as you have a state ID or a driver's license. If you've gotten married and choose to change your name, you must update your name on your Social Security card. Myers says in some states, not Illinois, Social Security can verify the proof of the marriage electronically and process the application online.
One other thing I guess I'll mention, if you've gotten married and chose to change your name, it is very important that you update your name on your Social Security card. So definitely something you're going to want to do. In some states, and this is what I was alluding to earlier when I said sometimes depending on where you are, in some states, unfortunately not Illinois yet, we can verify the proof of marriage electronically and process the application to do so online.
Once again, that website is ssa.gov/number-card. Get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com. Sports is next.
That's you trying to fix the plumbing yourself to save a few bucks. Doing things yourself doesn't always end well. The same goes for insurance. That's why Auto Owners works with local independent agents who tailor coverage to meet your needs and offer discounts for life, home, car, and business insurance. Because sometimes you need a professional to get the job done right. That's simple human sense.
Jay Peterson here from Peterson Insurance, your auto owner's insurance agent in Clinton, Farmer City, and Maroa. Stop by any of our locations or call 935-6605.
Don't let a summer sniffle turn into a summer setback. Warner Hospital's walk-in clinic has you covered. No appointment necessary. Just walk in and be seen by our caring medical team. Warner Hospital Walk-in Clinic, right here when you need us.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police splatter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
From the Hart Media Group Sports Desk, ILSportsWire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Seth Lawrence with this look at sports. In a game heard on WHOW, Sam Antonacci and Braden Montgomery homered in a 6-run first inning, and the White Sox extended the Athletics' losing streak to 9 with a 9-1 victory Sunday, leaving the Pale Hose atop the AL Central entering the All-Star break. Montgomery, who debuted on June 9th, drove in 4 runs in a big league game for the first time. He entered with 8 RBIs in his first 28 games. Chicago at 50-45 entering the break swept the 3-game series by outscoring the A's 24-2 after getting swept in a 3-game set against the Red Sox. The White Sox lead the division over Cleveland by less than a percentage point. Antonacci went deep in the bottom half of the third opposite JT Ginn to ignite Chicago's high-scoring first inning this season.
And he swings, hits a deep fly ball to right field, way back there, and it's a leadoff home run to tie it. Over the bullpen. Antonacci with his 6th home run. It's 1-1.
Kyle Teal hit a 2-run single. Then Montgomery blasted a 3-run homer for a 6-1 lead.
There's a swing and a base hit, right field. Murakami's going to score easily. Vargas right behind him. That is a 2-run single for Kyle Teal. He snaps his offer, and the Sox lead 3-1. 1-0. Swinging a fly ball to right. It's deep, and it is gone off the top of the fence and over. Butler made a leaping attempt, and he couldn't get it. Braden Montgomery with a 3-run homer. It's 6-1.
Montgomery would add an RBI single in a 3-run fifth.
Swinging a ground ball through into left. Colson will score. Benintendi will stop at third. Braden Montgomery with his 4th RBI of the day. As he rolls a base hit into left, it's 7-1.
Noah Schultz won for the first time in 7 starts, allowing a run and 4 hits in 5 innings. The lefty had given up 16 runs in 18 2/3 innings in his previous 4 outings. Jordan Hicks struck out the side in the 6th. Sir Anthony Dominguez pitched a perfect 7th, and Tyler Schweitzer gave up 2 hits over the final 2 innings.
Swinging a ground ball, this should do it. Mydroth up with it. Throw to first. Sox win. Sox sweep the series.
The White Sox are back on WHOW when they return from the All-Star break to visit the Blue Jays on Friday. Alex Bregman had a season-high 4 RBIs, including a 3-run home run in a 4-run 7th inning, and the Cubs beat the Reds 8-4 Sunday. Chicago took 2 of 3 from the Reds, entering the All-Star break at 54-42 in a position for an NL wild card and 5 games back of the Central leading Brewers. Cincinnati lost its 4th straight series and is last in the division. Bregman was a triple shy of the cycle after hitting a 2-run homer Saturday. He hit a go-ahead RBI double in the 1st and singled in the 5th before his 9th homer of the season, a drive off Pierce Johnson. Bregman is hitting .241 with 41 RBIs after signing a $175 million 5-year contract. Matthew Boyd improved to 5-0 in 8 starts since losing his opening outing, allowing 4 runs and 6 hits in 6 2/3 innings. Jacob Webb got 2 outs for his 5th save. The Cubs will host the Twins Friday after the All-Star break. Ozzie Albies doubled and scored the winning run on Mason Wynn's throwing error in the 9th inning, allowing the Braves to avoid a sweep of the Cardinals with a 4-3 win Sunday. Moments before the decisive run scored, Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol was ejected after a failed challenge when Jojo Romero hit Michael Harris II with a 2-strike pitch with 2 outs. Marmol's 23rd career ejection tied Whitey Herzog and Roger Bresciahin for the 2nd among Cardinals managers, trailing only Tony La Russa's 39. Mauricio Dubon followed with a routine grounder to short, but the 2025 Gold Glover's throw to first was wild. All-Star Raisel Iglesias closed with a perfect 9th for his 19th save. Tyler Kinley earned the win. Cardinals starter Dustin May matched his season high with 4 walks in 4 innings, allowing 2 runs and 2 hits. The Braves' first run came when May threw a wild pitch after walking the bases loaded in the 2nd. The Cardinals begin a 6-game road trip Friday at Arizona following the All-Star break. Scores in Major League Baseball from Sunday afternoon, final day before the All-Star break. Pittsburgh blasted Milwaukee 14-5. Baltimore down Kansas City 8-2. It was the Yankees over the Nationals 5-3. Red Sox rallied past the Mets in 10 innings, 3-2. Elsewhere, it was the Guardians over the Marlins 5-2. Phillies blanked the Tigers 5-0. Mariners take down the Rays 8-2. Minnesota doubled up LA 4-2. It was the Rangers walking off the Astros 6-5. Giants take care of the Rockies 3-1. Diamondbacks down the Dodgers 5-3. And the Padres beat the Blue Jays 5-4. Ryan Blaney emerged from a 3-wide battle on the final lap of overtime in a weather-delayed NASCAR Cup Series race at Atlanta early Monday. Blaney won every stage of the race and led 171 laps after starting on the pole, but the Team Penske Ford driver had to fight off challengers Bubba Wallace and Christopher Bell, who finished 2nd on the final lap. Carson Hocevar and Ty Gibbs rounded out the top 4. Wallace was penalized for passing below the double yellow lines and finished 29th instead of 2nd. There was a delay of 3 hours and 9 minutes because of rain and lightning. The race ended at 1:45 a.m. local time at Echo Park Speedway. Blaney won the first two stages, brushing the wall with 29 laps remaining, causing possible damage on his right side after he was cut off by Wallace. Multiple drivers, including Kyle Larson, Chase Briscoe, and Riley Herbst, were involved in a wreck with 5 laps remaining to set up the overtime. There had been concern about approaching rain before lightning within 8 miles of the 1.5-mile oval track near Atlanta that led NASCAR officials to order cars off the track and advise fans to exit the grandstand. Rain began soon after the race was delayed. Following some caution laps and pit stops, the race went back green at 12:02 local time. Blaney won the pole, and his Team Penske teammate Joey Logano joined him on the front row. A third Team Penske driver, Austin Cindric, moved up to third early in the race for an early strong showing for the Fords. Cup Series points leader Denny Hamlin, who qualified 28th, finished 12th. Tyler Reddick was 8th. The Cup Series moves to North Wilkesboro, North Carolina next weekend for the All-Star race, where Christopher Bell edged out Joey Logano at the race in May of last year. Get sports anytime from your computer or mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com.
MR Systems Wireless is your local internet provider for Clinton and surrounding area. They have the products you want and the local service you deserve. MR Systems Wireless Internet service for home or business includes unlimited data, unlimited streaming, and unlimited calling. Plans start at just $48 a month and get a free Roku 4 lease with our media packages. Get the speed you need with MR Systems Wireless.